What's up, guys? Hunter here with another Tuesday tip. Today we're going to go over cables and how your posture and your point of leverage can change the resistance curve. And that's a really fancy way of saying we can really optimize the cables for what we're trying to do. So whenever we're using cables, what you got to keep in mind is wherever the 90-degree angle is in terms of the path of motion, that's when the point of resistance is going to be greatest. So let's just take a tricep push down, for example. So if I'm going to do a tricep push down, I'm going to make this a little lighter to illustrate what I'm talking about. So if I'm right here, see this 90-degree angle? That's the most resistance that we'll ever have in this exercise, mechanically. So as we go through the exercise and that angle decreases and that cable gets closer to my arm, the resistance will actually drop off, like the perceived resistance, the resistance actually felt at the handle will be lighter. So what does that mean for us? We can use that to our advantage because a little lesson about muscles right now, whenever we're speaking strictly single joint movements, isolation movements, the muscle is going to be strongest when it's longest. Meaning, you know, if we're talking about that tricep push down, for example, when it's longest right here, it's going to be weakest when it's right here. Well, you know, what did we just discover? The load is going to be greatest when it's here and lightest when it's here. See what I'm getting at? By, you know, really paying attention to the angles that we use our cables at, we can really kind of, you know, fix the resistance curve to really fit the strength curve of the muscle. And, you know, a couple exercises that I think this makes a really big difference on. You know, it can make a difference on all of them, you know, really paying attention to, you know, that angle and where the point of most resistance and least resistance is. But in my experience, the ones that it's made the most difference on for me has been 3 exercises, and that has been, you know, the one I just showed you, the tricep push down. If you follow my training a lot, you've seen me do them. I typically do them crossed, both arms at the same time, but it's the same principle. It's, you know, 90 degrees at the top of the movement, and then the cable's pretty close to the arm at the bottom of the movement, which provides a pretty, you know, significant drop off in resistance. The second exercise that I really like to do, you know, keeping in mind, you know, my body position is the braced straight arm push down that I do. And I'm not going to drag a bench over here right now, but let me show you. This is another really good illustration of what we're talking about. So if I am right here and this attachment is a little low, I'm going to pivot over here. So if I'm right here, it's pretty much 90 degrees and I'm in a position where my lats are stretched or longest. And as I come down, you'll see that angle decrease. The perceived resistance felt at the handle is also decreasing as the muscle gets shorter. So most resistance, least resistance, the muscle's strongest here, the muscle's weakest here. By, you know, keeping a proper body angle, we're able to really make the resistance work for us. Subsequently, if I were to come here, you know, standing up like a lot of people do, there's very little drop off, or a lot less drop off, if you will, especially if the cable's even higher. You can end up with that 90-degree angle almost being in the bottom where the muscle's technically weakest. So by paying attention to your body positioning, we can really, you know, really make that work for us. So the last exercise that I regularly do that really kind of, you know, takes this into account is going to be that step forward cable curl that you've seen us do, and show you what that looks like. So by having the cable for this, you know, we take that little step forward. We have no drop off of resistance in the hole, even though the arm's completely straight, there's still maximum resistance, but you can see we're more than 90, not by a lot, in the hole. And as we curl up, that angle comes almost to 0. There's a significant drop off. So once again, that matches the muscle strength curve because we're strongest here when it's longest and we're strongest here when the resistance is the most. And as we curl up and the muscle shortens and it becomes weaker, the resistance drops off. So those are my 3 favorite exercises that kind of work around the principle of, you know, that angle and the cable decreasing. At the end of the day, it's all about leverages. So just pay attention to your leverages when using cables. You know, it could be, you know, the difference of moving the cable from there to there makes all the difference, and, you know, like the profile and the feel of the exercise. At the end of the day, if you're training to failure, you know, a proper resistance curve is one that leaves you on that last rep with it being a grinder throughout the whole range of motion. There shouldn't be any, you know, real easy or real hard portion. You should be saying perceived difficulty the whole time. So, you know, that's a rough rule of thumb for what you're going after if you're really trying to dial your exercises in. Hope y'all like this one. See y'all next Tuesday.